He came on in relief Monday versus Chicago, stopped 12 of 13 shots. It's his first NHL start since last April. And at the other end, 22-year-old rookie Marek Mazanec. He got his second career shutout last night. He stopped all 19 Columbus shots he faced in Columbus. He's filling in for the injured Pekka Rinne. This is his 9th straight start of the year, and he is 5-3 on the season. And we are underway. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jordan Eberle, and Taylor Hall start up front. Jeff Petrie and Andrew Ference are your blue liners. They're out against the line that is including Mike Fisher, along with Colin Wilson and Eric Nystrom. On the blue line, Shea Weber is with his new partner for now, and that is Roman Josi, who takes over for Ryan Suter. This is Fisher with the puck now. He'll backhand it in, too far for Wilson, and is picked up there by Andrew Ference, given a bump by Fisher as he gets it to Petrie, and then Petrie was bumped off the puck. But there is Nugent-Hopkins to get it to the captain Ference, and he'll backhand it out. Jordan Eberle just inside the blue line, drop for Hall. Hall lost it to Weber, and Weber outlets quickly. And it's picked up there by Nystrom. Nystrom moving in with Wilson. Toe drag, his shot is blocked neatly there by Nick Schultz. Hall plays it back to Petrie, wants to get a line change in. As we mentioned, Nashville was in Columbus last night. They won that game by the score of 4-0, their second shutout of the season, both of them by Mazanec. The Oilers dropped a 5-1 decision to Chicago on Monday. This is the start of a 3-game road trip for them that will include a back-to-back. They'll be in Columbus tomorrow night. Bartley, he is paired with Seth Jones. Seth Jones, number 3. It is Victor Bartley with the puck now. He'll get across the blue line, and offside is the call. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you as always by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough.
Well, for the Edmonton Oilers, Kevin, it's going to be a real solid start. They have to be snappy and quick. They weren't Monday against the Chicago Blackhawks. They got down early, and they never really clawed their way back in that game against the Nashville Predators. They're going to have a better start and get things going. And for the Predators, it's home cooking. One of the best records at home here in the National Hockey League. And as you mentioned before, they played on Thanksgiving before and have a pretty darn good record on this particular day in history.
It is their 4th Thanksgiving Day game, and they are a perfect 3-0 so far. And I know Louis DeBrusque, if you took part in a Thanksgiving dinner, even though you're not an American, mowing down on
any
gravy.
Excuse to eat turkey.
It was good.
The players stayed away from it, but the tryptophan was kicking in this afternoon for us.
Oh, yeah. Puck bounces out to center ice, and it's picked up there by Ellis. He almost gave it away to Ales Hemsky. Ryan Ellis looked up ice, and Hemsky almost took it away from him. Craig Smith, Nick Spaulding, and Matt Cullen, the forward line now, is Ryan Jones back in the lineup. On the ice right now, Ryan Jones did not dress the last 5 games for the Oilers. He is out there with another guy that hasn't dressed for 5. That is Mark Arcabello. On the line with Jesse Joensuu, and Joensuu has the puck now. He'll get it back to Ference. Ference with a wrist shot through traffic, and that was blocked, and that stung Kevin Klein. And Kevin Klein is limping over to the bench for Nashville.
And a good effort down low by Jones and Joensuu to dig that puck loose, get it back to Ference. It wasn't a real hard shot by Ference, just trying to get it through the traffic. And the Nashville Predators, a good team at blocking shots. You saw Klein pay the price there, and he went off in some pain.
Brizgalov behind the net. He gets tangled up there with Victor Stahlberg. Stahlberg goes down. Brizgalov scrambles back to his net, so no harm done. The puck's still alive. Beloff trying to get to it. He is paired with Nick Schultz. Anton Beloff likes playing on the right side, even though he is a left shot defenseman. He's more comfortable there, and Nick Schultz likes the left side, so he said, all right, no problem.
Yeah, one of those things, a European player, a lot of the forwards like to play the offside for that one-time opportunities. Well, Beloff is no different. He likes to tee it up back there and played the right side over in the KHL. That's the position he's most comfortable in, so he's happy to be back there with Nick Schultz on the left.
Perron with Smith. Here is David Perron moving in. Perron with a nice move. Trying to get to the puck of the net, and Bartley knocked him down. Seth Jones picks it up. Quick outlet pass to Wilson. He'll give it to Fisher. Mike Fisher, drop pass for Wilson. Wilson stopped up, checked by Nugent-Hopkins as he delivers it down low. Fisher with it now. Fisher throws it towards the middle. Wilson late getting there. Jordan Eberle will pick it up. Eberle, nice pass between his legs for Nugent Hopkins. Quickly to Hall. Taylor Hall down the right side. Hall lets a shot go. Mazanec hangs onto it. First shot on game.
This perfectly preserved uniform came to us via a generous donation from our champion's wife.
Pick your winners today with Pools.
Well, Kevin, Taylor Hall gets the first shot of this game for both sides. So both teams being a little bit defensive-minded early on. We talked about Edmonton being a snappy team off the start, getting shots to the net. It's Taylor Hall that eventually goes down, gets a shot through. They need to test out Mazanec, see how he's going to do in a back-to-back situation. Had the shutout last night in Columbus. But for Edmonton, they should be the fresher team. They're going to have to find more ways early on here to generate some chances towards the Nashville goaltender.
He's 22 years old. He is the youngest goalie ever to play for the Nashville Predators. He is 6th with a 2.01 goals against average as that puck gets deflected up into the netting.
Good stick there by Dennis Gravishkov, inserted back into the lineup in place of Corey Potter in this game tonight. Just recalled yesterday from Oklahoma City. Has played real solid down there in the American Hockey League, and here just steps up, recognizes it's going to be a shot on net, deflects it up over top of the glass. With a body drive into the net, that can be a dangerous situation, but a good stick nullifies it.
He becomes the 4th Russian in the Edmonton Oilers lineup. And we saw all 4 guys today going up in the elevator.
Yeah. For the rowdy bunch.
Barons with the puck now. Barons plays it for Smith. It got by him, and it's picked up there by Jones. Cullen going after it. Gordon gets there first, but Cullen takes it back from him. Cullen could not negotiate a pass, so now he will spin in his own zone. Matt Cullen had a goal and an assist in the game against Columbus. He has been one of the hot Nashville Predators for an older guy. 37-year-old's got 7 points in his last 4 games.
Yeah, he really is, and he's always been one of those players that seems to find a way to produce everywhere that he's played. Stanley Cup winner, a veteran presence, and he's always had that speed and a real good hockey sense, and that's why he's been able to survive for so long and contribute. And you look at that game last night, he got things going early with a great one-time goal from a real sharp angle, but he was in a position to shoot it. He got it away quickly, and this line has developed some chemistry here for the Predators playing together.
And from the faceoff, a scramble for it. The Oilers get control. Nashville, the best faceoff team in the NHL, but the Oilers have won the first 5 draws. Hall trying to backhand it in past Jones, who knocks down Nugent Hopkins. Eberle looking for that puck to keep it alive, and Nugent Hopkins has got it. Justin Schultz had cruised down low. Now he'll go back and try and keep it in on the far side. Eberle dishes to the corner. Hall's got it now. Bartley watching him. Nugent Hopkins goes after it as well. And finally, it is Bartley who finds an opening and sends it down the ice. And the Nashville Predators will be able to get a line change in.
Good finish there by Taylor Hall, too, who tried to catch Bartley, not expecting the hit Bartley was ready for. But I like that grit down low by the top line of Edmonton. They were battling there. They didn't really generate a whole lot, but they stayed in the battle and kept that puck in the offensive zone.
Bryzgalov turns aside his first shot in a starting role as Stallberg let it go. Gabriel Bourque to the middle, and a good defensive play there. Turned in by Gagnes. He got it away from this guy, David Legwand. Legwand puts it behind the net. Stallberg with it. Stallberg being watched by Beloff. Stallberg fights him off. Drops it back to Weber. Weber takes a look through traffic, but he hit his own man, and Gabriel Bourque, and the Nashville Predators will be chased back into their own end.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin, 2 teams that love to stand in front of pucks and not allow rubber to get to their respective goaltenders already early in this game. You've seen some big block shots, very difficult to get them through, so doesn't necessarily have to be that big cannon from the blue and those wristers with eyes. And what are going to do the trick, get bodies in front of both goalies. Only 1 shot per side here after almost 7 minutes of play so far in this first period.
The Oilers are the 2nd best shot blocking team on the road in the NHL. Came in with 239 away from Rexall. Rich Clune chops at it. Arcabello keeps it in. They'll get it to Joensuu. Joensuu turned it over to Clune. Clune then lost it to number 6. It is tough sledding here. And the early going at Bridgestone Arena.
Unbelievable. Every single puck is up for battle, and you have to go through sticks, through bodies, good finishing checks, and especially inside the lines. You can see that pressure being put on by Nashville of Edmonton on Edmonton defensemen trying to get pucks out. Good job by Edmonton to keep a couple pucks alive inside that blue line. But as you mentioned, tough sledding. You got to battle through a lot just to get a puck in deep.
Rebishkov with a pass to Perron. Perron trying to go wide on Klein. Threw it towards the net. Goes right after it. Back to the point. Schultz. He couldn't get it through. Now Nystrom goes right up the middle. And a pass intended for Wilson ends up right on Bryzgalov, and he will hang on to it. Rogers Oilers hockey from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. 12:05 to go here in the first period, and as Louis talked about earlier, just 2 shots combined for these two teams.
Man, not good enough. You know, we talked about Edmonton being snappy out of the gates, and listen, they've limited the Nashville Predators to 1 shot only against as well, so that's a positive. Yep. But for a young team, fast team that likes to shoot the puck for Edmonton, they're going to have to be the better team in getting pucks to the net. Hasn't happened yet.
Ryan Smith backhands a bouncer that Mazanec steers aside. Smith again putting it out in front. A bouncing puck is picked up there by Spaulding, and he will outlet that to Bartley, who fires it around the boards. Denis Rebishkov, 11 games down in OKC, 2 goals and 3 assists. Jones with a shot right on. Bryzgalov steers that aside. Cullen looks for Smith. Tried to get the return feed. It was broken up by Boyd Gordon. David Perron cruising into the shift is just going to dump that puck in and then head off. Shots are even now at 2 apiece. The Oilers generated 25 shots in that game against the Chicago Blackhawks on Monday. Eberle turns it center across the blue line. Eberle with a wrist shot, and that one whistles wide. Hall picks it up on the near side. There's a shot right on. Mazanec steers it aside. A race for that puck. It's won by Nick Schultz. We'll go back to the other end.
And that's a prime example right there. Nice little transition by Edmonton. Good stick by Beloff as he just steps up, denies the pass wide for Nashville. And as a result, it's Jordan Eberle that takes it north on the offense very quickly. And this is what Edmonton has to do more. This isn't a real hard shot, but it's a wide angle shot, gets it away quickly. And what happens? It sets up another one for Taylor Hall to get it through to the net. So that's the mentality Edmonton has to have. The big line goes out there and generates a couple chances. It doesn't have to be the perfect shot, just get it to the net with bodies getting there.
Hemsky, Gagne, and Yakupov out there now. Nail Yakupov been bothered by a little bit of an ankle injury, but he did practice before the team left for Nashville and declared himself fit as Hemsky's shot goes wide. Hemsky going after it. Bartley takes him into the boards. Yakupov with it. Fires a shot that doesn't get through. There's a backhand by Gagne. Takes another swipe at it. Mazanec covers it up and he'll get the whistle. Good shift for that line.
Yeah, nice save by Mazanec too. And for Ales Hemsky, a real nice job here to take a hit to make a play. He knows he's going to get crushed here by Bartley. He takes the hit, lodges the puck loose, and a good block in front by young Seth Jones to not allow Nail Yakupov to get that shot through onto the net. And then afterwards, it's Sam Gagne that stays with this bobbling puck, gets a backhand away. Mazanec with a real solid save in there. And that's 2 shifts in a row that Edmonton's been able to generate pucks into that blue paint and create some chances.
Well, top line on there now, and we've got our first penalty of this game coming up, and it's going to be against the Edmonton Oilers. And it's going to be Jordan Eberle who's headed to the box for hooking.
Just dug in a little too deep, and you know, he thought he had the puck the first time, but it was the second time that he reached in and got a little too deep, and Downey Van Massenhoven's going to make this call coming out of the offensive zone for Eberle. Gets a real good backhand off the faceoff. And just following his rebound, digs in a little too deep. And you'll see him right here digging in. And that's the infraction right there. Thought he lifted the stick, but he got body. And he'll head to the box. He hopes for 2.
Nashville 1 for 3 in their game against Columbus. And you know that guy can shoot the puck. Shea Weber with a big blast. He and Yossi on the blue line. Fisher, Legwan, and Bork are up front.
You know he has a hard shot, and that's coming into this game. Shea Weber has a cannon, watch out for it. But every time he shoots it, it still impresses you with how hard he can drill that puck towards the net.
Only defenseman in the National Hockey League who leads his team in goals. He's got 7 on the season. 5 of those goals have come on the power play. Nashville, the 8th best power play in the league. The Oilers moving up the charts when it comes to their special teams. They've allowed just 1 power play goal in the last 4 games. Weber with the puck now. He'll play it back to Josi. And Yossi's behind his own net. Mark Arcabello out there on the penalty kill along with Nick Schultz, Ryan Jones, and Anton Beloff. Wilson, drop pass. Weber with a hard shot. Bryzgalov the save. Looking for the rebound with Smith, and he put it over top. Cullen will give it to Craig Smith. Smith gave it away to Arcabello, said thank very much, and sent it down the ice before he headed off.
Yeah, it was a blast again by Weber. It doesn't necessarily have to result in a goal. You saw that blast. Great job by Bryzgalov to front that shot, get out, cut it down. He took it hard, high in the chest area, but it was the rebound that drops down that's dangerous. It's a good play there by Petrie to get it down 200 feet. And for Weber, he's not always looking to score. Obviously, he's blasting it to the net, hoping that it goes in, but it's the rebounds and what it creates.
There's a short-handed opportunity for Hall.
Good stick.
The Oilers with 1 short-handed goal so far this season. 14 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Ellis with it now. He'll fire a shot. Petrie trying to get it by Smith. Can't do it. Plays it behind the net. Ferentz. A calm pass, and he'll get it to Hall, who starts away. 4 shots for Nashville on that power play. Smith with it now. Eberle's out of the box. Smith trying to throw it towards the net. It was blocked by Jones. So the Nashville Predators 0 for 1 with a man advantage. They have 1 power play goal in their last 3 coming in. Hendricks was stopped. He parked himself in front of the net. Now he'll go after it as it goes in the corner. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets knocked down. Schultz lays it around the boards. Trebishkov pass for Smith didn't work. And we'll come back into the other end.
Good pressure by Nashville after not scoring on the power play. The 4th line goes out, gets a puck in deep, grinds it down low. For Edmonton, a good penalty kill. And to start a game where you know you have to have a good start, to go out and knock down one of the better power play units in the National Hockey League. Short-handed Taylor Hall's been creating some offense. Right here, a good stick just to pick the pocket, drive it to the net, and almost slips one short side there.
Legwand won that draw back to Weber, and he hammered it wide. Mentioned the #1 face-off team in the league. Here's Weber with a wrist shot this time. Swallowed up by Bryzgalov with Stallberg right on the doorstep. Rogers Oilers hockey right here on the net.
Time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Colleen Britton of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation and the Oilers Copper Jackets are once again getting into the Christmas spirit by hosting their signature luncheon in support of the Christmas Bureau of Edmonton on Friday, December 13th. Attendees will enjoy great food, live holiday music, and both a live and silent auction featuring unique items and experiences. To purchase tickets to this festive event in support of the Christmas Bureau of Edmonton, please visit OilersFoundation.ca.
Gene, thank you. 7 minutes, 22 seconds left to go in the first period. 8-5. The shots favor the Nashville Predators in a scoreless game. Ryan Smith chipped it in, looking for Boyd Gordon. It is Gordon, Perron, and Smith, the 3rd line for the Edmonton Oilers, and they're going to be able to get a change in on an icing call against the Predators. They'll try and take advantage of the fact that the Preds have to stay out there. And it's Sam Gagne's line with Hemsky and Yakupov. Petrie and Ferentz are on the point from the faceoff. Won by Gagne to Petrie. Petrie throws it towards the net. Pad save by Mazanec.
That's a good shot from the blue line and a good save by Mazanec, as you mentioned, but just a little wrister that gets through traffic with bodies going through the lane. Very difficult for a goaltender to pick that shot up, and Mazanec does, but I like the fact for Petrie had his head up as soon as this puck came back to him. He's looking to trying to find a way to get it down into the danger zone. So he's looking, little fake brings it back to the outside, and a good job in front right there by Gagne until he goes down to try and screen, but the save is made, and a big juicy rebound came out front.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will line up against Matt Cullen now. Anton Beloff and Nick Schultz are on the point. A scramble draw, eventually controlled by Jones. He'll play it off the boards, but Eberle is there to keep it in. Eberle behind the net for Hall. Hall from the corner. looking for Eberle. It was tipped away by Seth Jones, and that guy has got a long hockey stick and has been using that in his rookie season to good effect.
Well, he still needs to look up to his dad, Popeye Jones, who is 6'8", retired National Basketball Association NBA player, and at 6'5", you don't know if he's still going to grow a little bit, but he does have that huge wingspan, that long stick, and obviously a real asset playing defense, and a reason why they felt very confident to play him in every situation this year, and why he leads all rookies in ice time.
His dad spent some time with the Toronto Raptors as part of his NBA career. Under 6 minutes left to go in this first period as Anton Beloff leads the rush for the Oilers. He'll give it to Ryan Jones. Jones chips it in. Gillensu going after it against Klein. Klein gives him a bump as he centered it. Arcobello lost an edge. There's Jones on the backtrack. Picks up the puck and knocks down Fisher in the process. Jones to the middle for Arcobello. To Joensuu. Joensuu back to Arcobello. Arcobello back to the point it comes, and then it was given away there by Schultz. Schultz comes flying back against Fisher. There's Brizgalov calmly out to send that puck into the corner. Ellis keeps it in. He'll throw it towards the net. There's Arcobello to pick it off. He'll give it to Joensuu. Arcobello gets it back again. There's Perron there to help him out. Grebeshkov to Justin Schultz. The Oilers will get a change in. Mark Arcobello still tied for first among rookies with 10 assists, even though he didn't play for 5. There's a long shot tipped into the meshing off the stick of Boyd Gordon. Rogers Oilers hockey from Music City. We still wait for our first goal.
Well, Kevin, we look at 3 hot Oilers who are all coming back off injuries and obviously different extended periods of time. But for Taylor Hall in his last 4 games, 4 assists and a goal. David Perron stays red hot with 6 points in his last 4. And Justin Schultz, after missing 8 with that groin strain, has 2 goals and assists in a 3-game point streak for him. So a nice way to return to the lineup to produce offensively, especially when you're an offensive guy.
Out there with Dennis Grebeshkov. Eberle gets it to Schultz. He couldn't control that puck, and it's picked up there by Nystrom. Eric Nystrom squeezes by Schultz with Wilson and Fisher. Back to the point it goes. Roman Josi with a long shot. The rebound cleared out to center. Josi and Weber on the blue line for the Nashville Predators, who are 13-10-2 this season. 6 of those wins have come right here at Bridgestone Arena. They are 18th ranked at home. Eberle left it there for Hall.
And just another opportunity to get a puck to the net. Just a little bit too cute there by the top line of Edmonton, coming over the blue line looking for a little drop pass. They've got 6 shots on net through almost 16 minutes of play, and they're going to have to start with getting a little bit better of a shooter mentality.
Shot doesn't get through off the stick of Rich Clune, as Petrie had a little bit of trouble with it. Klein.
And Kevin, we talked about that puck bouncing around a little bit down there, so obviously players having a little bit of a hard time controlling that puck. It's on edge a lot. Even more of a better reason to get a puck to the net on a regular basis. Those knuckle pucks are that much more difficult to stop for a goaltender.
Louis, you and I walked to the rink today. We can tell you it's not because it's too warm in here.
Yeah, it's chilly here. Uncharacteristically chilly here.
Gostad centers it. Perron picked it off. Paul Gostad on the 4th line for the Nashville Predators. He's the #1 guy in the faceoff circle in the National Hockey League, or #2 coming into this one, 62.3%. Stallberg tips it in. Going back to get it is Nick Schultz. Nick Schultz plays it off the glass and gets it out. Jones will pick it up there with just over 3 minutes left to go in the first period. It is Seth Jones. To the middle it goes to David Legwand. He will bounce that puck in, and he didn't get over the red line. So we'll go back to the other end.
If you drive on snow and ice, you don't want all-season tires. You want all-weather tires. Get Nokian's most advanced all-weather tire, the WRG3 at Cal Tire.
Kevin, I had a good conversation this morning with Phil Housley, the assistant coach of the Nashville Predators and Hall of Fame defenseman in his 21-year National Hockey League career, and loves the kid, likes the way he works, and is willing to learn.
Nugent Hopkins with a shot, stopped by Bartley. It's underneath him, now it's loose. Get back to that in just a second. The top line putting on pressure. Here is Nick Schultz, steps into a slap shot that went off of Stallberg, and Jones leads the rush. Leguan trying to get it back to Jones. Jones from a sharp angle. Bryzgalov had it covered, but the Predators have the puck. Leguan laid it out in front, and it was steered away, and here comes Hall. Hall trying to buy himself some room, gets by. Nystrom still has it. Now he let a shot go. Blocker save by Mazanec. Ryan Jones in after it. Double digits for the Predators. They've got 10 shots. The Oilers have 7 now.
Oh, I like the last couple times they've come down, they've shot the puck and had that shooter mentality. Even Taylor Hall there, you saw that shot is not from that close in, but it did generate a rebound that fell, and that makes a defenseman have to turn and find, allows the forechecker to get in there and potentially get possession of the puck once again.
Joensuu's shot doesn't make it through. Jones going after it. Ends up behind the net. Now it comes free. Arcabello plays it back to the point. Schultz over to Arcabello with a wrist shot. And Mazanec makes the save with Ryan Jones on the doorstep.
Following up a good shift, that's exactly what this line does. And a newly put together line here in the last couple days of practice. Arcabello has missed the last 5 of a healthy scratch, so has Ryan Jones. And Joensuu on that line. Some good passing here between Schultz and Arcabello. 1-to-1 time that puck, but had to settle it down first. We've talked about it bobbling a little bit down there. And he does get that shot away. Good job by Jones to get in front and try and screen. Mazanec makes a nice save again.
Battle of the two centers who get down low, Gordon and Gostad, and a penalty coming up with 1 minute and 36 seconds to go in the period.
And it's going to go to Ryan Smith. The Edmonton Oilers are going to be shorthanded here again for the second time in this game on the forecheck, and I didn't see the infraction, but it looked like a high stick. Or potentially a hook, as he was the first man in the offensive zone, and it is going to be a high sticking, I believe, on Ryan Smith. And right here as he goes in on Bartley. Okay. Not sure where the high stick was, but that's probably why Ryan Smith was looking at the referee a little odd, going to the box himself. But you're not going to win that battle. He's in the box. He hopes for 2. And the Predators with their second power play of this game. 4 shots the last time they had the man advantage. It comes 18:44, the time of the penalty to Ryan Smith. Jones on the point, can't handle it. Opportunity now for Arcabello, and Jones is going to go to the penalty box and will negate that power play right away. Good job by Arcabello. He forced Seth Jones to take a penalty. Yeah, no question. Nice little chip off the boards as he gets in the shooting lane, or passing lane rather. Just a good defending on the penalty kill here. You'll watch here as for Arcabello, he's in the lane. He realizes that Jones has trouble with the puck, pounces on it early, and as he tries to go around him, just that little interference by Jones. As he goes by, makes him stumble, and Jones knew right away. Rather take that penalty to give an offensive guy a breakaway. It nullifies the power play.
Nashville's power play lasted just 19 seconds, so we'll play 4-on-4 for the next minute and 41. $1:17 left to go in this first period. Hall and Hemsky are up front with Petrie and Ferentz on the blue line. Shea Weber will lead the rush. Yossi drops it back. It's picked up now by Wilson. Wilson goes cross ice. Less than a minute to go. Out in front it comes for Wilson. Hopped over a stick. There's Weber with a long shot. Rising high over top of the net. Weber will get another chance from the blue line. A wrist shot through traffic. A loose puck in front. And Wilson couldn't find the rebound, but Yossi keeps it in. Lets that shot go. Glove save by Bryzgalov with Wilson right on the doorstep.
And a good thing, just a little too loosey-goosey in the defensive zone here by this unit of Edmonton. Not really taking lanes, not really taking men. And as a result, the Nashville Predators able to generate some high-quality chances. A little too much time here as it's Ferentz that's fronting this shot by Yossi, and a good job by Wilson in front. Bryzgalov wisely gloves that one under the air and settles it down for a whistle.
Nugent Hopkins wins the draw against David Leguan. Leguan squeezes him off the puck. Back to Weber. There's a long shot. Stick save by Bryzgalov. Justin Schultz plays it off the glass with 25 seconds left to go. Roman Yossi, watched by Eberle, throws it towards the net. Spalling was tied up nicely there by Dennis Grebeshkov. Spalling gets it back again. He'll give it to Yossi. Time winding down in the period. Steal by Nugent Hopkins. Good play to Eberle. Eberle up high. And that one deflects right into the seats.
And that might have hit bar. That was a sharp angle shot by Jordan Eberle. Nice little steal here by Nugent Hopkins on the wall. Watch him with the back pass off the boards, finding Eberle streaking through. And I do believe this goes off a bar. As Eberle using the defenseman as a screen, Weber. I don't think Mazanec really knew the puck was coming his way off the bar, up over top of the glass. So a short side, high quality chance there by the sniper Eberle.
Jordan Eberle with 5 points in his last 4 games. And in 10 career games against the Nashville Predators, he's put up 9 points. 6 of those points have been goals. Clock is showing 3.6 seconds. They'll double check that.
Might have been a little hometown discount there on the end of it to roll it down with an offensive zone faceoff. So they're going to see if there's any time that should be added on.
Matt Cullen.
I can't imagine it'll be a whole lot, though.
No.
But every little bit does count, especially when you have a face-off to the left of the goaltender.
And a big one for Sam Gagner. He's got David Perron behind him. 3.6 seconds still on the clock. From the draw, Perron trying to get a shot away, and it was blocked. Not a whole lot of shots in this one, Darren Millard. 13 for the Predators, 9 for the Oilers. American Thanksgiving. It's appropriate that Sportsnet's biggest turkey is on the desk.
Come in, wants people to judge him on what he does now from this point on. And I'll tell you what, came in relief for Devin Dubnyk on Monday. Played just over 30 minutes. Had some good saves there and 13 shots in that first period with a couple big saves there as well. So far, so good for Ilya Bryzgalov.
Second period starts 4-on-4. Ryan Smith is in the penalty box for the next 10 seconds. Seth Jones has got 28 seconds left. The Oilers will get a very brief power play. Justin Schultz goes cross ice. Grebichkov throws it towards the net, deflected right on, and Mazanec holds on to it just as Smith comes out of the box.
I like this. Nice little drive through the middle here by Taylor Hall. Good cross-seam pass by Schultz over to Nugent Hopkins, who's on the left-hand side. He knows Taylor Hall's driving through, so this is a little bit of a shot pass looking for a redirection. And I do believe Hall gets a little piece of this one. Redirects it, trying to go 5-hole. Mazanec with a nice save to take that angle away and hold on to it.
17 seconds of power play time for the Oilers. Petrie at the point. Jeff Petrie shot there. That one hit Shea Weber. Ales Hemsky, time winding down, looks for Yakupov. Did not get a lot of that shot. Another opportunity, and he slid it just wide. Jones out of the box. The teams are at even strength, but the Oilers have the puck. Roman Josi. Trouble getting it by Ales Hemsky right in front of the Oilers bench. Right in front of Devin Dubnyk. The puck is frozen there between Gostad and Hemsky. And now it comes free, and it's picked up by Gagner. He lost it. Back the other way, Spaulding. Checked by Petrie. That allows the captain to play it off the boards right to Gagner. Flips it in. Weber flips it right out again. These teams will hook up. The next 2 meetings are going to be in Edmonton, January 26th and March the 18th. The last time the Oilers was here was March 25th of 2012. They lost the game by the score of 3-2. Boyd Gordon pushes it for Perron. Perron's got Smith out in front. David Perron to Beloff. Off the boards to himself, but he got tripped up before he could get there by Roman Josi. A nifty play by number 77.
Yeah, I like what he was thinking. Good job by him to kind of jump in, recognize there was an opportunity for a puck, tried to play it to himself and got to interfere with a little bit as he went through.
Perron with a drop pass to Smith. Smith with a wrist shot right on. Mazanec makes the save. And it's picked up there by Cullen. Oilers make a change as Cullen plays it ahead for Ellis, looking for Bourque. Arcabello, Joensuu, and Jones, the fourth line. Jones and Arcabello back in the lineup for Edmonton. Schultz with a shot deflected. Opportunity in front for Jones. 2 cracks at it. It's slid it right through the blue paint. Schultz with a slap pass just out of the reach of Arcabello. Grebichkov keeps it in for Arcabello. Good job by this fourth line. Joensuu with it now. Joensuu takes a bump, and that allows the Nashville Predators to come away. Stolberg to Cullen. Cullen. Pass didn't make it through. Jones with it now. He'll flip it high to relieve the pressure. And the Oilers get a line change in, but for a line that has not played together, they look to have a little bit of chemistry.
Real good shift there by that line. A couple high-quality chances. Ryan Jones doing what he does best, going to the blue paint, making it tough on the opponent. He has a real good look on the short side. Mazanec with another real solid save. But all bodies buzzing, wanting to stay in the lineup.
Here's Eberle's shot, and that one gets deflected into the corner. Off the stick of Roman Josi. Eberle from the corner. Nugent Hopkins gets knocked down before he could do anything with it. Hall in there. Bumped by Fisher. Those two tangle. Eberle in to help out. Nugent Hopkins with it now. He gets pinned against the boards as well by Weber, and the Nashville Predators get it out. Hall plays it back to Ferentz. To the near side is Eberle. Eberle right up the middle. Nugent Hopkins backhand, and that one goes wide. Legwand dumps that puck out to center. Shot right back in by Nick Schultz. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to get caught for too many men on the ice. Or he never came. Oh, sorry. Nope, my mistake. It was an offside call.
Yeah, no penalty on the play.
No penalty.
Here.
Nope.
You could hear some screaming down there, never came out. So the player that was supposed to jump on the ice did delay just enough to create the too many men. So a good heads-up play on the bench there as it got congested right in front of the Oilers bench. And sometimes that's difficult to decipher who is supposed to go on and who's not.
Bryzgalov stops it behind the net, and now he'll play it around the boards himself for Yakupov. Gagne to Hamsky. Ales Hamsky moving in against Bartley. Hamsky stops up, cross ice. Belov snaps a shot. And that one ends up going into the netting.
Not a situation you see too often here, but almost too many guys looking to shoot it. You had Yakupov going down the right-hand side here. Good stop here by Hemsky to delay look, and it goes through Yakupov, who's looking for a one-timer, and then Belov, because he thinks Yakupov's going to shoot it. He doesn't one-time it. What he does do is get a good shot through and redirect it up over the glass. Good job by Ellis there to block out, not allow that traffic to get in front of his goaltender on that shot by the Edmonton defenseman.
The Oilers have done all the shooting in this second period. 4 for them, none for Nashville. This one gets directed right onto Bryzgalov, and he's going to hang on to it because he had Matt Hendricks right on the doorstep.
And as we've mentioned before in this game, the puck has been bobbling just a little bit for both sides, and Hendricks recognizes that and drives it all the way through. Good job by him to stay with this puck as Bryzgalov doesn't quite get this one. And it comes to him, and it looks like it's a routine stop for him, but it is sitting there. It is loose. So for Hendricks, he's like, hey, he had that quick little chance right there before Bryzgalov pounces on it to try and jam it underneath him. Good job by Bryzgalov to stay with the fight, make the save, and for Gagne to come in and clear Hendricks out of the way.
Gordon wins the draw against Paul Gaustad. Schultz jumps on a loose puck. Gets it to Gordon, and Gordon is absolutely flattened by Paul Gaustad, a big customer. Hard shot by Schultz, and it dribbles just wide. Pressure by the Oilers now. Perron, Gordon, and Smith. Perron with the puck, being watched by Bartley. Ryan Smith, side of the net. All kinds of traffic, and the net comes off the moorings as the whistle goes, and a little more pushing and shoving now. Gaustad and Perron having some words.
Well, anytime you run over a goal, there's going to be a little bit of that, but I like this shift from this line as Perron is known to go to the blue paint hard. So is Ryan Smith, Kevin, and still having words as they settle things down here, but good shift down low, good stay in the fight here. Nashville's been very aggressive down low, taking bodies, being physical. Ryan Smith, old school style, says, you know what? I'm going to drive this one to the blue paint. And David Perron, you don't have to ask him to go to the net or Boyd Gordon. He takes it right off the moorings, as you mentioned. So a good shift to drive it to the blue paint. Scoring chances have been hard to come by in this game, and the Oilers looking to create them in a different way.
Well, all that jawing gets Gaustad and Perron a seat in the penalty box.
And they're still continuing the talking. Well, you know what? It is Thanksgiving. little bit of a slow start to this one here, maybe a little turkey-induced, but it is starting to pick up and been a little more physical in the second period. A few more chances. 13-13 now shots in this game. So Edmonton's come out in this second period, generated a few more chances and some good work down low.
So a couple of unsportsmanlikes. Good call.
They maybe continue that on a little too long.
4-on-4. Eberle along the blue line, plays it to Nugent Hopkins. Ferentz and Petrie on the line. Wilson from behind his own net. Eberle on the intercept. Eberle comes to Petrie. Petrie moves in. A great tip by Nugent Hopkins. And the Oilers have a 1-0 lead. Jeff Petrie to Ryan Nugent Hopkins. And when the game has its first goal.
Well, good work by Jordan Eberle to start this whole thing off. It's off the forecheck, and as a result, a little jump right there by Eberle. So puck turns over, he finds a cross-seam pass to Petrie, and he has a lot of time to get his head up and look. And you can see him the whole way watching Nugent Hopkins come to the net, stick on the ice, and he just ricochets it off his paddle into the net. Good job by Nugent Hopkins to give him this target on the tape in the back of the net. No chance there for Mazonets, and it's a 1-0 lead for Edmonton.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins came into the game without a goal in his last 6. He now has 6 goals. And the Oilers a 1-0 lead. As Louis mentioned, Jeff Petrie with the assist. He'll have 4 on the year now. And the Oilers with a 1-0 lead at 5:32 of the second period. A 4-on-4 situation, and the Oilers take advantage. Jordan Eberle, of course, also gets the helper. A wraparound attempt there by Kevin Klein denied. Legwand carries on. He'll center it to the middle, and Gagne intercepts it. Gagne's got Hall with him. Gagne 2-on-1 with Hall. Taylor Hall backhand scores! Taylor Hall gets his 7th goal of the year, and suddenly the Oilers have a 2-0 lead.
Well, you could see this developing here. Great chance by the Nashville Predators. It looked like Legwand had a little time to try and put it up over top of Brizgalov short on the net. But this puck eventually will find its way to Sam Gagne. And look at Taylor Hall just start to pump the legs. Find that open ice. Nice pass by Gagne to find him with speed. No chance for Klein here to stop Taylor Hall as he jumps through it and walks it in. Nice little backhand through the 5-hole for him. With his 7th goal of the year, makes it 2-0 in quick succession here. 2 goals by Edmonton.
2 goals.
Taking control of this game.
51 seconds apart. And Taylor Hall has a 5-game point streak. 2 goals and 4 assists. And the Oilers are up by a pair. .6:23 the time of the goal. Gagne gets his 5th assist of the year and 5th point his last 6 games. Brizgalov called on to make a save there with Craig Smith in front of the net.
That wasn't an easy one either, Kevin. That was a good job by Nashville Smith to stand in front, screen Brizgalov there. And for Brizgalov, he's done a real nice job in this game. His first start of the year in the National Hockey League after going down to Oklahoma City for a couple. To see the puck, he's following the play very well, and he's anticipating getting in front of shots and makes a good save there.
Well, our next score and win winner, courtesy of Safeway and Sunripe Juice, is Elaine Forsberg of Fort McMurray, who's won the DVD prize pack from E1, and that is on the goal by Ryan Nugent Hopkins at 5:32. For Nugent Hopkins, his 6th goal of the year. Roman Josi steps into a slap shot, and that one whistles wide. Gostad and Perron are out of the penalty box, so we're back at 5-on-5. Nystrom shot steered aside by Brizgalov. Stahlberg pushes Perron. Perron has the last laugh as he gets the puck now. Petrie. Ferentz to the near side. It's Hemsky. Ales Hemsky. He'll go cross ice looking for Nugent Hopkins.
Offside's going to be the call.
It is Rogers Oilers hockey, and it's right here on the net. Well, we have another winner in our score and win contest by swiping a free club card. Sheila Bertram of Edmonton has won the Garmin Nuvi 2597 LMT GPS courtesy of Safeway and Sunripe Juice. And that guy, Taylor Hall.
Yeah, and a nice goal by him, his 7th of the year, made it 2-0, 51 seconds after Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scores the 6th. Watch him look here, just get the legs pump and stick on the ice. He knows this puck is coming, has a lot of time to make that pass to the backhand. That move to the backhand and score that goal. So a nice one by Taylor Hall. Big celebration afterwards, a big one for him and his team.
Taylor Hall with 5 shots on goal tonight so far. 12:08 to go in the second period. The Oilers with a 2-0 lead. 2 goals, 51 seconds apart. Marek Mazanec has never faced the Edmonton Oilers in his young career. Pecorine, a hip infection, has him on the sidelines. He'll have an MRI on December the 5th. Hendricks brings it in, but it's offside. And now pushing and shoving as Joensuu and Jones get involved.
Now it looks like Clune and Jones.
Clune and Jones, and Clune is a tough customer, but I don't think they're going to get an opportunity here.
And for Clune, he was on the ice early and he was looking for something right away. Obviously down 2-0. He was trying to get his team going. Ryan Jones giving him an earful as they go off.
Rich Clune had fought 6 times coming into this game.
Yeah, real busy customer, not afraid to get involved. So he came out, had a few words with Jones off the face-off, and as the shift went on and it developed, it eventually was a little bit down the corner. Good stand-up here by Schultz on Hendricks. He gets knocked down, no worse for wear, and then down in the corner, it was Clune that got involved, I believe, with Yakupov, who'd come on the ice for that shift.
I don't think Clune and Jones is over.
No, they're still yipping and yapping, and for Clune doing his job, trying to get his team back involved in this game, down 2-0 on 2 quick goals in 51 seconds by Edmonton. And for Ryan Jones, playing the discipline part right now, and obviously eventually had to get involved, grab Clune. I'm not sure what the boos are for.
Ryan Jones claimed off waivers from Nashville back in 2010. It looks like Clune was a little too involved in this one, and so the Oilers will have a power play. It is going to be their second power play of the game.
And that one extra shot there, I think, by Clune is the reason he got the extra 2.
And Wilson will serve it, and the Oilers go to work. Justin Schultz at the blue line. He'll give it to Nugent-Hopkins, who sets up. Perron's in front. Here's Hall with a slap pass to Eberle. Eberle trying to get around Weber, and Weber throws him to the ice. Weber throws the smaller Eberle to the ice, and Eberle didn't have the puck.
Yeah, kind of extended his arm there too, so I guess he just decided to hog tie him and throw him down, and Shea Weber gets away with one there, in my opinion, is Jordan Eberle trying to make that move and go to the backhand.
Hall checked by Weber. Eberle behind the net. Yossi ties him up. Nugent-Hopkins picks it up near side. He'll play it back to Perron at the point. Chip pass to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins gets double teamed, spins away from Mike Fisher. Fisher out there watching Justin Schultz now as it comes across the Hall. He'll give it to Eberle. Hall gets it back again. Centering pass is broken up by Yossi, but Nugent-Hopkins picks it up near side. He'll play it back to Schultz at the point. Schultz with a wrist shot through traffic, and that was blocked by Weber. Weber couldn't get it by Schultz. Eberle down low to Perron. Perron comes cross ice, and there is Mike Fisher, but again, Schultz stopped it, but it comes right instead to Hendricks. Hendricks shorthanded. Good defensive play there by Schultz.
Well, you can tell Schultz was a little bit tired there, but a good job by him just to take the right line and cut off Hendricks. He eventually just kind of ran his path right out and was able to reacquire that puck.
35 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Oilers. A power play ranked 11th in the league. Hamsky slows it down, gets it to Gagne. They play back, catch, back to Beloff. Now to Yakupov. Yakupov, wrist shot, and that one is blocked before it could get through by Victor Bartley. Behind the net is Hemsky. Alex Hemsky out in front for Beloff. Anton Beloff gives it to Hemsky, gets it back again. Now here's Yakupov. Yakupov back to Beloff. Beloff with a wrist shot. Saved by Mazanec. One shot for the Oilers. The penalty is over. Yakupov with it now, though, trying to stuff it home. And Mazanec holds his ground. They had Gagne and Smith right there. Rogers Oilers hockey from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.
Meanwhile, the Goals for Heroes program is proudly sponsored by Synovus. For every Oilers goal this season, Synovus will donate $400 to Valor Place Military Family Support House. To date, including tonight, the Oilers have scored 67 goals for a total of $26,800.
2 more goals tonight with 9:37 to go in the second period. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Taylor Hall giving the Oilers the lead. It is Gagne, Yakupov, and Hemsky out there now. Yakupov steps into a shot. Too many sticks in the way in the form of Cullen and Klein. Cullen with it now. Cullen stopped by Yakupov. And then he was in the clutches of Sam Gagne, but he did manage to get it in. Cullen can't stop Hemsky, no. Here's Ales Hemsky. He gets knocked down. Mazanec pushes it ahead, and it's picked up by Smith. He'll give it to Spaulding. Spaulding, drop pass for Cullen. Cullen with a wrist shot. Glove save by Bryzgalov. Back to the point it comes. Ellis steps into a blast, and that rises over top of the net.
Well, it's incredible. I think this is the best shooting defense group in the National Hockey League. Every single one of the guys back there can just tee it up and get it to the net in a big way.
And you know, Roman Josi is a guy that maybe is underrated because
he's got a cannon too.
Playing with Weber, everybody looks like they shoot muffins.
Yeah, when you got that blast over on the right side, it's amazing how it makes the other ones look a little bit slower, but they can all fire.
17 shots for the Predators so far as the puck gets by Jones and comes all the way to Mazanec. Seth Jones, 23-26 on average, number 1 among all rookies. Bartley got stopped by Perron. Jones back into his own zone. He'll give it to Victor Stalberg. Stalberg lays it to the middle for Legwand. David Legwand, career leader in goals, assists, and points on this team. And this year, he's the assist and point leader.
Yeah, another great start for David Legwand this year for Nashville.
15 helpers, 20 points total, had a goal against Columbus. His first goal in 11 games.
And you know, the first pick by the Nashville Predators back in 1998, second overall, and he spent his entire career here in Nashville and has been one of Trotzy's troopers, that's for sure, one of his number 1 guys.
Speaking of
leading the way offensively this year.
Speaking of a guy who's been here all the time, it's Barry Trotz.
Yep, right from the get-go.
Nugent-Hopkins to Hall. Cycle game going for that top line. Nugent-Hopkins right along the wall, gives that puck to Eberle. Jordan Eberle gets knocked down, gets up again. It was Fisher who sent him to the ice. Now it's picked up by Nystrom. Nystrom trying to deal with Grebeshkov. Schultz avoids the hit, then gets bumped into by Fisher. Comes to center, and it's chipped right back in by Klein. Eberle. As the Nashville Predators make a change, he will chip that puck in, and then he is going to peel off and head to the bench with 6:30 left to go in this second period. 18-17, the Oilers lead in shots and on the scoreboard by a pair. Yakupov down the ice for Hemsky. Ales Hemsky moving in against Klein. Here's Hemsky, gets hammered into the boards by Kevin Klein. And Ales Hemsky takes a look at his skate blade as he is struggling right now. It looks like he blew it out, broke it. And the whistle goes. He was hammered into the boards by Klein, got up, went right down, and it was all because of the skate.
And for Kevin Klein, just kind of leans the butt end of the stick into Hemsky, denies him from driving that puck to the ice. Good job by Yakupov to get that puck out originally. But for Hemsky, tried to get up, and you could tell that something wasn't quite right. He says, I think there's a blade still lying back there. You want to go pick it up for me? And those are those interchangeable blades they have now in the skates. And watch Hemsky try and stand up here. Oops. Does a little bit of a Bambi and looks down. You can notice right there was no steel in the plastic. So good aggressive play by Klein to deny Hemsky of that space. Jeff Lang taking care of that right now on the bench.
It's almost like a NASCAR coming in for a pit
Yeah,
stop.
little pit stop, quick change. We saw all the blades lined up. Looked like Dexter's little package of knives with all the blades on Jeff Lang's table, and pretty interesting the way they've come to that, where they can make quick changes, and obviously the less time you miss, the better.
Ryan Jones sends it around the boards. Ioansu, Jones, and Arcabello, the fourth line for the Oilers. Ferentz throws it through traffic. Doesn't make it through, but the Oilers get possession back. Jesse Ioansu battles with Seth Jones. Puts the puck towards the net, steered aside by Mazonic, and then he goes after Jones again. So those two got a bit of a running battle on this shift. Opportunity for Jones, and it is Ryan Jones that gets knocked down before he could get the shot away.
Tell you, another great chance, and Jones looking up the ice, and Jones just didn't see that hit coming from Bartlett, I believe it was, that came across and clipped him. But another good job by Ioansu. This entire line, the fourth line of Edmonton tonight, it's a new line that's been created. They're getting pucks in deep, creating chances with that physical play down low.
Petrie trying to get it out, can't do it. Wilson from the corner. He'll play it back to Yossi. He's down low, right out in front it comes. A sharp angle shot, another one through traffic. Here's a chance for Wilson, and oh, what a save by Bryzgalov. Wilson from the corner. Best pressure by the Nashville Predators, but now it's broken up by Ryan Smith. Smith drops for Gordon. Gordon, drop pass for Perron. Wrist shot through traffic, and that one dribbles just wide as it went off Weber.
And I don't know where it hit him, but he's in a lot of pain going to the bench right now. Right away knew that something was wrong. It hit him in the face. Oh.
So Weber's headed down to the tunnel, and we are headed to a break as he took that one right in the face. 4:36 to go in the second period. I'll see if we can get an update on Shea Weber.
Oh, another puck goes up high into the bench with the Predators. So Barry Trott's having to take a little dive there. Who played defense back in the day in his junior playing career with the Regina Pats. So he had to get out of the way of a few pucks in his day.
Number 2 all-time among active coaches in terms of tenure. Only Greg Popovich in San Antonio, the NBA, has been in his job longer than the man behind the bench for the Predators. Stalberg to an open wing, and it's picked up there by Gabriel Bourque. Squeezed off the puck there by Belloff. Out in front, shot by Legwand, and that one goes wide. Bartley keeps it in. 4 minutes to go in the period. Perron wants to relieve the pressure, flips it high. It gets to center. Victor Bartley is there. Gabriel Bourque fires it in. That will allow a change for both teams.
That was another real good shift by that line of the Nashville Predators, getting a puck in deep. Good cycle down low and attacking off the cycle. Not relenting here, not backing off, and down 2-0, pushing the issue a little bit here. Nashville has in this second period, creating some good slot zone advantages and chances. The Bryzgalovs had to come up with a couple big saves.
Klein to Yossi. So Kevin Klein has taken the spot of Shea Weber on that line, or that defensive pairing. Yossi with the puck now. Yossi gets to the red line, fires a long shot on the Bryzgalov. He'll hang on to it and get a whistle.
Canada Post NHL stamps and souvenirs. Available at your local post office or online at canadapost.ca/NHL.
That was the 21st shot that Ilya Bryzgalov has faced in this game.
I'll tell you, he's been involved early on, right from the get-go. Every shot that he's faced, he's had an awareness of it. Made some big saves. Has had a couple real good scramble moments as well. So a good first start so far with 3:10 left in this second period for Ilya Bryzgalov in an Oilers uniform.
His last was April 25th against the Islanders as a member of the Philadelphia Flyers. Wilson, watched by Grebeshkov. Fisher plays it back to the point. Klein shot is blocked. Perron in behind him. David Perron. David Perron to the middle. Couldn't get a good shot away. On a good defensive play there by Mike Fisher. Yakupov back to the point. Justin Schultz goes cross ice. Dennis Grebeshkov to Gagne. Gagne at the line, puts it in the opposite corner. Perron fends off Fisher. Sharp angle shot. It comes out in front. And Eric Nystrom is there, and he plays it off the glass and gets it out.
I like that play by Sam Gagner. He knew he didn't have any real options, so he threw it into an area that allowed David Perron to go and retrieve it. And when you're up 2-0, it's good decisions with the pucks. And right now for Edmonton, every puck has to be in deep. Don't give the Nashville Predators any life. And when you have the puck in the offensive zone, try and keep it there.
David Legwarm trying to get his team on the board. Found a way to get in behind the defense. Ference went by that puck. But there is Petrie to stop Stallberg. Joensuu trying to play the angle, and he did correctly, and that will allow that line to change without an icing call. 1:35 to go in the period, and it has been a good one for the Oilers. Long shot, Bryzgalov calmly steers that aside. Kept in along the near boards. Bartley at the line, walks in. He gets stopped, and Petrie plays it off the glass. Can't get it by Gaustad, but here is Gordon along with Smith. Boyd Gordon, drop pass for Smith, checked by Bartley. Gordon gets it back again. Smith to Gordon. Less than a minute to go. Hendricks with Gaustad. Jones joining the rush as well. Seth Jones in front.
He's been jumping up.
Couldn't get it to him. And down 2-0. We'll see more of that, especially in the third period.
He's been sniffing, no question about it, for Jones. He likes to get up in the rush, and talk to Phil Housley a little bit about that this morning, picking the right times to do it. You can see how quickly and how efficient he can get up the ice, being a 6'5" skater, and he has that smooth stride. And boy, he snuck in back door a couple times already in this period.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
The goal scorers on the ice for the Oilers, along with Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz, Anton Belov is jousting and pushing and shoving in the face-off circle. Draws a talking to from the linesman.
You see a little edginess here with Taylor Hall in this game tonight, finishing a couple checks, getting a little bit aggressive, and here off the face-off, getting involved with Smith a little bit, pushing back, demanding his space. You like to see it.
Cullen with Klein. Klein centering pass, and Bryzgalov is there. The puck's still loose now. He turns over and smothers it and gets the whistle.
Wow, good burst of speed here by Klein, and we just talked about young Seth Jones jumping up in the rush. Good save here by Bryzgalov, but watch Klein just start pumping, getting up the ice, recognizes this is a good opportunity, and good stick right there at the last second by Schultz to kind of deny this pass from going across. It was a 3-on-2. Nugent Hopkins was back, and then Bryzgalov wisely just kind of sweeps the puck right into his stomach and holds on to it.
From the draw, the puck goes in the corner, and Petrie to Smith and gets it out. 5 seconds left to go in this period. Andrew Ference takes a look, and the horn goes. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Taylor Hall do the damage for the Oilers, and they do it, Darren, in 51 seconds between those two goals. The Oilers up by 2.
Do the dishes. Petrie, dishes? Louis and Kevin?
I know they're going to be happy, Gene, because the Detroit Lions crushed the Green Bay Packers this afternoon. We watched some of that game while you were munching down 3 or 4 turkey legs.
You and your Lions.
I tell you, the Lions will roar in 2000 and something. Third period is underway. Taylor Hall with the puck. Stops up at the blue line, gets it to Eberle. And played it back to Ference. Didn't work, and he has to hustle because Wilson bearing down, but Petrie came back defensively. Fisher with the puck now, throws it towards the net, hits the side of the cage. Eric Nystrom for Wilson. Colin Wilson's pass intercepted by Petrie, plays it to Eberle. Eberle, though, cannot get that puck out. Petrie's with it now. He'll play it around the near side, and it's picked up by the captain, Andrew Ference, to Hall. Hall Skates it himself, buys some time, and then he'll head off. 4 times this year, the Oilers have won games when they have been leading after 40 minutes. They're going to try and make it 5 here to kick off a road trip that will see them in Columbus tomorrow night. And then finish up in Dallas on Sunday. And we'll have all the games for you on the network. David Perron comes from behind the net. Perron plays it back to the point. Nick Schultz there to Ryan Smith's got Gordon out in front. Tries the wraparound. It sits there for Gordon. And Mazanec makes the save, and he'll hang on to it.
Good solid save by Mazanec there as Ryan Smith drives around. As you'll notice, Shea Weber is not on the ice right now, and he took a high puck off the stick of David Perron in the second period. Here it is right here. And this happened late. The shot gets redirected right off the right eye, above his right eye. And he goes off with his eye closed. You can see some blood coming down. Obviously hits him very hard. Shea Weber, a tough customer, got up, skated off, but he will not return. So for Barry Trotz, down to 5 defensemen in this one. And for all of Team Canada followers back home in Canada, they're hoping that it's not that serious of an injury to Shea Weber.
15 minutes and 53 seconds for Shea Weber. Had 5 shots of the 13 that the defense has come up with for the Nashville Predators.
You and I included, right?
24 total shots for Nashville. They'll have tomorrow off, and they'll play Philadelphia on Saturday. Vancouver is in here on Tuesday. Start of a 4-game home stand tonight. Now the Oilers making it a miserable Thanksgiving. So far, they've got a 2-0 lead. Hemsky with a puck. Hemsky has to go back into his own zone. He'll give it to Beloff. Hemsky with it now. 4th line getting ready for a shift. Arcabello. Jones. Joensuu. Flipped right in. And Mazanec decides to hang on to it with Joensuu right there.
It's game day at Hudson's. Half off wings and pints of Molson Canadian every time Edmonton plays, all day long. Hudson's, Canada's pub.
Kevin Quinn working alongside Louis DeBrusque and Gene Principe. We're here in Nashville. The first meeting of 3 between these two teams, and the only meeting this year here in the Music City. Rebishkov on the ice. Remember, he got traded to Nashville when the Oilers were here and played them the next night. Jones behind the net. He's got Hendricks out in front. Bartley lost it to Ryan Jones. Jones takes a hit from Paul Gostad as he delivers that puck into the Nashville territory. Top line and back on the ice. Flipped into the corner, Colin Wilson. Get there first. Nugent Hopkins gets it to Hall. Hall chopped at by Wilson. Forced that pass to Nugent Hopkins. He missed. Nugent Hopkins gets it back. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, a neat little spin move. Hall now avoids a hit from Kevin Klein. Eric Nystrom. Catching up to it is Mike Fisher. Fisher with a wrist shot off the stick of Ferentz. Shot. Brizgalov was there. Wraparound attempt back to the point. There's Fisher's shot. Brizgalov at the top of the paint makes the save, and he'll hang on.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Pick your winners today with Pools.
Another real high-quality chance for Nashville here. Kevin worked off the cycle down low. Wilson finds Fisher in the high slot. Great read by Brizgalov to see it the whole way and make the save.
Back to the point it goes. Kept in by Ryan Ellis. A push now from Nashville in the early stages of this third period. Ellis down low behind the back to Legwand. Legwand. His pass is broken up there by Boyd Gordon. Gordon wants to get that puck in deep and does. Hardly checked by Smith, but it comes to Legwand. David Legwand flips it, knocked down by David Perron. Legwand has to leave it. Beloff takes a look. He comes together with Gabriel Bourque. Bourque with it now. Bourque against Beloff. Bourque turns. Legwand. Stolberg's out in front. Beloff lost it. Here's Legwand's shot off Nick Schultz and wide. Cost Nick Schultz's stick. Legwand from the far corner. Schultz without a cue as it comes back to Seth Jones. Moves the middle. Wrist shot through traffic. That one hit his teammate Gabriel Bourque and allows David Perron to start out.
That one stung him too. Another real good shift by Nashville and just relentless in the pursuit of the puck. Excellent forecheck. Turns the puck over once again. And for Edmonton, getting hemmed in a little bit too often here in this third period. Down, up in the game. 2-0, sorry. Nashville pushing because they're down. It's working and they're creating chances.
They start out one more time. Backhanded in by Roman Josi. Justin Schultz out there against the Cullen line. Grebeshkov right up the middle. They found Hemsky, got it to Yakupov. Yakupov goes across ice for Justin Schultz. Wrist shot, and that one goes just wide. Craig Smith starts back the other way for Nashville. Smith, drop pass for Cullen. Cullen to the middle. Here is an opportunity and a great chance there for Spalling. Denied by Elias Brizgalov, and he will cover it up. 2-0 is the score. Rogers Oilers hockey on the net. Outstanding play, outstanding results. Brought to you by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
We're going to go back into the second period. It was the second goal of the game by Taylor Hall, his 7th. Great job by him to get up in the play, make this a 2-on-1. And a perfect feed by Gagne on the tape allows Hall to bring it to the backhand through the wickets. Mazonitz, that makes it 2-0 at that time. That's how it stands.
5-game point streak now for Taylor Hall and his 8th point in his 9th career game against the Nashville Predators. 13:52 to go in this third period. Predators outshooting the Oilers 27-21.
And give them credit, Kevin. They have not relented here. Down 2-0, 2 quick goals in the second period. But throughout this game, they've done a lot of this. Just redirecting pucks in deep, establishing a real aggressive forecheck. Their defense have been really aggressive on the offensive blue line. And as a result, Ilya Brizgalov has had to make some big saves in this game.
And doing it all without Shea Weber. Injured in the second period. A deflected puck hit him in the face. He will not return. Ferentz hammers it in, took a funny hop off the stanchion. David Perron plays it behind the net. Ryan Smith going after it against Seth Jones. Took it away from him. Here's Perron. Perron trying to get it back to Smith. That didn't work, but the Oilers keep it in. Nick Schultz at the point. Smith taking a look. Beloff coming right down Broadway. But he didn't get a chance to get that puck. Perron with it now. Oilers able to get a change in the offensive zone. David Perron hanging on to it. He'll get it in deep for Joensuu. Jesse Joensuu. Arcabello is there, and now Ryan Jones on the ice. Jones turns, throws it right out in front. Another opportunity for Arcabello at the side of net. Good job to get it through. Jones almost put it home. Victor Bartley helped out his goaltender there.
Oh, big save by him there. I'll tell you what, good little redirection by Jones. Good heads-up play by Arcabello to spin around, find Jones in the slot. And it was Bartley, I believe, that made a big save.
Jones throws it in front, and Mazonitz hangs onto it. And now some more pushing and shoving involving Jesse Joensuu and Colin Wilson, among others, along with Mike Fisher.
And I'll tell you, if you're Dallas Eakins right now, a couple guys that have been on the lineup in Jones and Arcabello, the last 5 they've missed as healthy scratches, get injected into this lineup tonight, and they've been real solid. Not only 5-on-5, but also on the penalty kill. Here's the chance. Jones just fires it through the blue paint. Eventually it'll work its way down from Joensuu to Arcabello, and a nice redirection right there by Ryan Jones. Thinks he's got a gaping wide open net, but it is Victor Bartley that comes back and makes the save. Sorry. It was, Bartley. I thought it might have been Jones right there coming through. The other Jones on the other side, but another good chance created off that attack in the offensive zone, throwing pucks to the net, being a presence in front to Mazanec, and it's worked tonight for that line.
Top line will try and keep that momentum going and get some insurance to put away this Nashville team. Nugent Hopkins delivers to Hall, to Eberle. Eberle with the backhand, and he hit the post. Second time in this game that Jordan Eberle has rung one off the iron. Hall with it now. To Nugent Hopkins, lost it to Fisher. And Fisher able to bounce it out to center.
Boy, a good quick strike there by the big line of Edmonton. Little tic-tac-toe, and for Hall, he knew Eberle was coming late. Eberle, so poised with the puck, takes a lot of time and rings it off the bar.
Here's Yakupov, circling the net, tries the wraparound. Mazanec shut the door. Hemsky ties up behind the net. With Gabriel Bourque, and it is Klein who starts away.
One of the things I like about this line tonight for Edmonton, they have attacked the blue paint. That's Yakupov that tried the wraparound for, I believe, the third time in this game tonight. So instead of trying to take the shot all the time, just work it to the net. Doesn't have to be pretty, driving the blue paint, and creates another chance.
So with Gagne and Hemsky, they'll be looking for a change now with just over 11 minutes to go in regulation time. The first part of this period belonged to the Nashville Predators, but the Oilers have come back here and have come up with several great chances. Legwand keeps it in for Rich Clune. Clune to Legwand. He's pinned against the boards nicely there by Jeff Petrie. And it's going to be an icing call against the Oilers.
If you're looking for commercial insurance or risk management services, contact us to see what the power of insight can do for you.
I think a timeout being called here, Kevin, as this line's been cut out there for a while, and something the Nashville Predators do so well is make you compete for all that ice. And Jordan Eberle with a terrific chance a little earlier on as he went to the backhand. Nice drop pass to Eberle by Hall, and he goes to the backhand. He can really release it hard on the backhand side. He knows where he wants to go with this one. He's trying to go top shelf and didn't miss by very much. And then right after that, the next line follows it up, driving into the net. It's contagious when you shoot the puck to the net, when you drive a puck to the net. The next shift that comes up, the next line that's on the ice wants to follow it up, wants to keep that momentum going. And the Nashville Predators push right back, force the icing on that last play with that good work down low, protecting that blue line, not backing out. As a result, we'll get a little time to work over a face-off play here, and the Oilers will get some rest.
And the Oilers may get more opportunities as the Nashville Predators will have to open it up to try and get back in it. Gordon against Cullen, two of the top face-off men in the business. Boyd Gordon leads the team in draws taken. And up over top goes Craig Smith. Smith, Spaulding, and Cullen singled out today by Barry Trotz as being one of his best lines. Cullen with the puck now, tries the toe drag, lets the shot go. Brizgalov makes the save.
Just a great chance created by the speed and quickness of Cullen there. And as you mentioned, Smith with a good chance off the face-off. The line is fast, they're aggressive. And Ilya Brizgalov with another real solid save in tight with the left pad, gets it down and stones Cullen.
He has faced 28 shots so far. Chopped in by Perron. Arcobello going after it. Joensuu and Jones. A good shift the last time these guys were out there. Oh. Klein played that back. Yossi played it a little bit too close. To Mazanec. Jones will bring it in. It's Ryan Jones against Roman Josi. Jones still has it. Back to the point it comes. Nick Schultz waits, fires it, looking for a redirect from Joensuu. Bourque plays it around the boards. Stolberg. Intended for Josi, too far for him. Beloff will pick it up. Grebishkov finds Hall. Hall will give it back to Dennis Grebishkov. Beloff. Nugent Hopkins. Oilers reload, breakout. Hall gets stopped. Nugent Hopkins carries on, gives the puck to Eberle. Eberle driving the net. Here is Jordan Eberle. And Seth Jones was all over him. Ryan Nugent Hopkins races over there.
I'll tell you, that was a good job by the youngster Jones to stay with Jordan Eberle. One of the slipperiest guys around when he wants to drive that inside. And Jones just stayed with him the whole way.
Fisher with a sharp angle shot, gets the puck back again. Nugent Hopkins watching him. The puck comes to Hall. Eberle right back to Taylor Hall. Hall gets stood up there by Seth Jones. Sam Gagner gets stopped by Eric Nystrom. Gostad at center. Nystrom with Wilson. Eric Nystrom, nice move. Here is Nystrom, played it out in front. And Dennis Grebeshkov was sprawling, and back the other way comes Hemsky, crisscrossing with Yakupov. Nail Yakupov puts it on net, goes after the rebound. Mazanec the save. 25 shots fired the way of the rookie goaltender from Nashville.
I'll tell you, he's been good too, Kevin. The 2 goals that he gave up, not a whole lot of chance for him to stop him.
Hendricks sweeps it towards the net. Gostad can't get it by Petrie. Jeff Petrie off the glass. Klein able to keep it in. Steps into a slap shot. What a glove save by Ilya Bryzgalov. All kinds of traffic. And Bryzgalov had Rich Clune right in the kitchen. He came in the kitchen, but he couldn't eat. Ilya Bryzgalov with 30 saves so far, 7:37 to go in the third period. Boyd Gordon gets down low and wins that draw against Paul Gostad. Bryzgalov to Petrie, around the boards. Ryan Smith chops it out, gets it by Kevin Klein. Forces Ryan Ellis back into his own zone, lost it to Gordon. Boyd Gordon gets tripped up, and a penalty coming. And the Oilers will have a power play, their third of the game, with 7:16 to go here in the third period. Ryan Ellis is going to the box.
Taylor Hall's junior teammate in Windsor won 2 Memorial Cups. Just gets a little flat-footed here, and this one takes a funny hop to Gordon. As he drives into the net, Ellis just kind of digs in a little too far. He's had a real solid game tonight. Has had to ratchet up his ice time a little bit with the absence of Shea Weber in this third period. Takes the penalty, though, and is looking for a big kill from his team. For Edmonton, they're looking to seal the deal here with their third power play and potentially their first goal in the power play.
Generated just 2 shots on 2 power plays, but remember, one was very short. Schultz fires a shot. Mazanec, blocker save into the corner. Hall and Schultz on the point. Nugent Hopkins, Perron, and Eberle, the other power play participants, and it's Hall trying to go cross ice, broken up by Fisher. And it's set up ice for Mike Fisher, stopped by Eberle. Then shot down the ice by Klein. Justin Schultz, he's on a 3-game point streak. Pass to Hall, and that was called on the offside.
Another good stand-up here by Nashville as the Oilers having a little bit of a hard time with their entry into the zone on the power play. 0 for 2 so far in this game. The power plays have been spread out. The first one really didn't count as a power play. It was a real short one. The second one was the only full one that the Oilers have had in this game, and now this being their second full one. A little bit disorganized and some solid penalty killing by Nashville. They're an aggressive team on that blue line. They don't let you tread that water very easily.
And look at Dallas Eakins, didn't like what he saw from that top unit. And he will go with Gagner, Hemsky, and Yakupov now, along with Anton Belov and Dennis Grebeshkov. Louis, 3/5 of this power play is Russian.
Well, they'll be able to communicate, that's for sure. They don't have an excuse for that, so there should be a lot of talk going on down there. I feel bad for Ales Hemsky right now. And Gagner, they might not be able to get the lingo.
Belov with 48 seconds of power play time remaining. We'll give it to Hemsky. Gagner down the left side, stops up to the middle to Hemsky. Hemsky back to the point. Grebeshkov waiting for it there. He'll give it to Hemsky. Ales Hemsky's got Gagner down low. Hemsky gets it back again, comes back to Grebeshkov. His pass almost picked off there by Spaulding, but it was broken up, and broken up enough that the Oilers get charged with another offside.
Good job by Nashville to keep things to the outside, and for Edmonton just not able to set up shop and really find a high quality target. And for Nail Yakupov, one of the things he's going to have to work on in his career is being able to find that hole to jump to at the right time. Hemsky on the half wall didn't really have a whole lot of options there for a one-time. And as a result, the Nashville Predators are able just to kind of keep them to the outside for Yakupov, though he wants to shoot the puck. You know he's looking to do that. And sometimes when you try a little too hard, you get yourself into the wrong area of the ice.
Top unit gets to close out this power play. It is down to 15 seconds as the puck goes out. The Oilers came into this game tied for 11th in power play goals. They had generated 17 all season, and now they're going to have to decide whether this puck was sent out.
Yeah, there's a big discussion there, wondering whether or not this puck was sent directly over the ice or else it redirected.
Face-off will come in Predator territory. 17 goals for the Oilers on the power play. 7 of them have come on the road. A road power play that is 17th. And here's the discussion. Is that shot out or redirected out?
That was redirected out, but it wasn't batted out. Big difference. You know, you see it happen sometimes where guys will try and bat a puck out of the air. They put it up over top of the glass. It's a delay of game penalty, but there it was just a redirection off the stick.
Nugent Hopkins backhand stopped by Klein. The Oilers with one shot on that power play as Ellis is up and back on the ice. The teams are at even strength with 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in regulation time. Hall, Eberle shoots! And Mazanec the save. Pass too far for Cullen. Ferentz gets there first, plays it off the boards for Eberle. Nugent Hopkins, Hall, and Eberle want to make a change, but Hall's got the puck. He's moving in one-on-one. Hall now takes a look. He'll throw it cross ice. Picked up there by David Perron, and Gordon with a shot, and he slid it wide. Ferentz gets it to Gordon. Gordon to Perron. Ryan Smith, good job to keep it in. Gordon. Smith to Perron. David Perron gets by Bartley. Perron plays it right out in front, and a good play there by Mazanec to direct that puck straight up the middle. 30-27, the shots on goal in Nashville's favor. Just over 4 minutes left. Ferentz off the boards to Ryan Smith. Smith at center, sends it in. Change coming. And the fourth line is on the ice for the Oilers. Ellis gets his way to center, trying to backhand it in. Stopped by Beloff. He'll give the puck instead to Spaulding, who chips and goes after it. Nick Schultz gets there first. Ryan Jones is checked by Stallberg. Fisher throws it quickly towards the net, and a sneaky little shot. Brizgalov covers it up. He'll hang on. We'll take a break and be back after this. Play of the Game is brought to you by Rogers, bringing fans the fastest speeds in more places. Rogers LTE.
Well, it was in the second period. It was the goal that got things going for Edmonton. Good forecheck here by Jordan Eberle to break up the play, steal it, finds Petrie through the seam, and what a heads-up play by Petrie to wait for Nugent Hopkins to get to the right spot. Paddle on the ice, redirection past 1-0, and that is the play of the game.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins now with 6 goals on the season. Leads the team in helpers with 14. He's got 20 points. Jordan Eberle has got 21. The Oilers a 2-0 lead. Fisher's shot stopped by Brizgalov. Fisher's had a couple of chances.
Does he ever? A couple real high-quality ones in the slot. That one there got it away quickly. Nice save by Brizgalov.
That pass was too hot to handle off Fisher's arm and all the way back down into Nashville territory. 3 minutes to go in regulation time as Ellis puts it in slowly. Cullen going after it. Petrie sends it around the boards. Picked off there by Wilson. He'll give it back to Cullen. Net empty now. 6 attackers for the Predators. Collins. Wilson slipped it right through. Here's the 6th attacker with a shot. Brizgalov the save. Gostad came off the bench, took a shot. Brizgalov hangs on to it.
And Sam Gagner just sprawled himself out too, diving in front of that shot. As the late attacker jumping on the ice finds himself in the high slot and gets a real high quality chance away. And As you mentioned, Gostad, who's the one jumping off the ice. Big body, drives right down the middle, finds the puck, has a lot of time to look. And for Bryzgalov, he's just been fantastic in this game at knowing where the puck is. There's Gagne right there, just sprawling to try and not allow this shot to get through. But Bryzgalov is there, he's ready for it. And more importantly, makes the save and doesn't allow a rebound to drop down.
33 shots fired his way, and now 6 attackers out there for the Nashville Predators with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. They win the draw. Ellis at the point. There's another shot that is blocked by Gordon. The Oilers, the 4th best shot blockers. Opportunity for Ryan Smith. He's got an empty net, and he put it wide. Roman Josi back to get it. Smith and Perron are up front along with Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins with a great takeaway. Smith throws it towards the net. That one is stopped by Ellis this time. Now Grebeshkov will give it to Perron. David Perron with an empty net. David Perron takes a look. Now he'll throw it up high. Oh, what a save by Ellis.
Oh, that was a butterfly.
2 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Nugent Hopkins in the corner. He gets swarmed. The puck comes loose. Ryan Smith will send it down the ice with the right weight that'll allow the Oilers to make a change. Jones quickly gives it to Roman Josi. He throws it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Craig Smith for Cullen. Centering pass. Picked up now by Matt Hendricks. Hendricks laid it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins got it to Petrie. Petrie uses the glass and sends the puck down the ice. Hall takes a look. Hall gets there first. Hall with Eberle. Eberle. He gets squeezed off the puck. Battles after it. Eyes wide open with that open net looming. Hendricks up the middle. Legwan. Jones was down deep. He got trapped. Legwan's got the puck. Bartley throws it towards the cage, deflected over top. Time winding down in the period. Here's a chance for Taylor Hall. He's got Jordan Eberle with him. Jordan Eberle's got an empty net, and Jordan Eberle scores. Eberle seals the deal. It's 3-0 for Edmonton.
And boy, some terrific work down low just to separate, be physical, allow this puck to get shot out of the zone. And for Taylor Hall, a terrific game for him tonight. Just a good job to knock this one down, hold on to it, buy his time, wait patiently for Jordan Eberle to separate just a little bit. Takes a little bit of a hit afterwards. But Jordan Eberle, who's been all over it himself, a goal and assist now in this game, seals the deal 3-0.
Ken Buchanan of St. Albert swiped a free club card on behalf of Safeway and Sunripe Juice. You've won the Hoover Wind Tunnel multi-cyclonic bagless canister thanks to another goal by the Oilers and a goal scored by Jordan Eberle. Jordan Eberle's now got 9 on the season, and Eberle takes over the team lead, a lead he had shared with David Perron. The Oilers now have one thing left to do. Joensuu, Arcabello, and Ryan Jones keeping the puck in the Predators' end. 34 seconds left to go. Justin Schultz turns, fires it in, and the fourth line will change. 20 seconds left as Klein looks for Gostad. He's stopped. Hemsky's got it. Hemsky with Gagne and Yakupov. Petrie taking his time, gets it to Yakupov. Yakupov just wants to get the puck in deep with 5 seconds left. And what a debut for Ilya Bryzgalov. In his first start as an Edmonton Oiler, he gets the shutout, the first as an Oiler, the 31st of his career as he stops all 33 shots fired his way. The Oilers win this one by the score of 3-0.
And I'll tell you, Kevin, it was a hard-earned one by Ilya Bryzgalov as Nashville did not relent. They continued to push the issue. Both goaltenders were good in this one tonight, but Bryzgalov shut the door. And a huge victory for him in his first start as an Edmonton Oiler.
The game review is brought to you by The Brick. Nobody beats The Brick for furniture, mattresses, appliance, and big screen TVs.
Well, we talked about Edmonton have to get off to a good start. They do. It was in the second period, but 51 seconds apart. They score 1 and 2 goals, and that was what they were looking for. In the first period, Bryzgalov, 33 saves in his first start to save for his first shutout with the Oilers, and that's how things wrapped up.
Last win for the Oilers was 2012, March 20th.